Привет! Я пью чай. I was thinking, like I always think anyway, but this week I had a thought that was always coming back in my mind. Like since the best video on this English channel was the one where I show you how I teach myself Russian, is the one that has most view. I'm not viral, but like I'm trying to see what's good, what's no good, or what's fun or not. Don't be shy to leave comments below. I was thinking to show you a little bit more when I study. For now, I didn't really study steady. Like I didn't. I was not really from this time to this time every day. Blah blah blah. No, I just do a few minutes a day because I realized that if I learn too much words, I don't remember one except some привет, сестра. Like I don't remember enough, so I will have to teach myself the old way, the old-fashioned way. I'm a Gen Xer, so yeah, okay. So I will have to write a lot. That's how it's gonna come in me, and I'm gonna like. I remember when I learned when I was studying English in school. Like even though I was doing my text in French, and then I was searching. We didn't have internet in that time. You really had to search in the dictionary, turn the pages and everything. And I was studying like this, like with my French, my text in French, and then I was translating it to see which word and everything. And also I was learning my English with remember long time ago we had the vinyl. In French is vinyl. I'm not sure in English the pronunciation. You know, those big disc uh, like music album in vinyl. um, the two groups I was really practicing my English with, because there was lyrics inside the pockets. I could have take more groups, but anyway, I was allowed to buy only two albums like this, and it was Queen, the album The Game, and with the B-52s at Planet Claire. I was practicing my English with that, like too, and I was singing, of course, Poor Mother, I Broke Her Ears, because at that time I had the headphone and I was singing, and especially the B-52s, I was doing all the voices, the male and the female ones, and at one point they're not screaming, but it's kind of, and my mother was, I think I gave her a lot of headaches with that album, but that's how I practice my English. So since we don't buy albums like this anymore, I will have to find myself for sure on YouTube Russian music with lyrics to practice the pronunciation and to read at the same time. I realized, okay, I'm not perfect with the alphabet, but I realized that when I take the time to read the Russian words, some words they're similar with or French or English. Like it's not the same, but it's similar. So I kind of have an idea of what it's saying. Not always, but that's why for me it's going to be very important to learn to read at the same time to speak. So that's why I'm thinking, if you have any suggestion of a group like this, interesting music, of course. Like I saw, oh man, I don't remember the name of the group, but they sound a bit folkloric, folk. Uh, I like that kind. So maybe not too much modern, because like I'm not too much in the Beyonce style, or I have nothing against it, but it's not my style. Maybe sometimes when I go dance, but such a long time I didn't go dance, so it's not really my style. So, but nice music where you can hear not so bad the words. So if you have any suggestion, please let me comments below. It would help me. So for that, and I was thinking also, I was also thinking, I'm so surprised that since the alphabet of Russian, which is called Cyrillic, Cyril, Cyrillic alphabet, um, since some letters are similar than Latin alphabet, to tell you, it's like the one that French people, English people use, that kind of alphabet. Just to name those, I know there's more countries that use it, but just to give you more an idea, that's Latin alphabet they call that I saw. Okay, like all my research is on Google, so if there's anything, let me know. Always make a comment. Let me know if I'm wrong, but my research were done on Google, so please be nice with me. So I was checking, and I was wondering why there's so many letters similar from Latin to Cyrillic, but they don't sound the same. Why? Which one came first, and why this, why that, and blah blah blah. So I did some research. Okay, I took notes, so I might read a bit. I promised myself not to do that too much on this channel, but I had to do it because my memory. Okay, I was searching alphabet. Which alphabet was the first one? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, the first alphabet that I found was in French. It's called cuneiform, cuneic maybe in English. That one is supposed to be the one that they use in Mesopotamia, and supposedly it started in 3400 BC, before Christ, of our current calendar, I guess. And it started supposedly south of Iraq, and then it spread a little bit, Iran, blah blah blah. It was not called like this at that time, but today it's called like that, just to give you an idea where it was, where it's situated. So uh okay, there was a lot of alphabets invented, whatever, created, da ti ta 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 ta. I didn't search all of them because I was more concentrate on the Latin one and the Cyrillic one. So, but I wanted to know, like, when did it start to write? And supposedly, from about Google is telling me, cuneiform, cuneic, is about 3 to 4,000 years before Christ. Well, okay, the Latin alphabet, it was not exactly like we use today, but it's something similar. Uh, it started in the 6th century before Christ in Italy, and for the Russian, by the Russian alphabet, it was called Glagolitic, and they started uh, on the 9th century after Christ, so like in this era, and it was invented by Constantin Cyril and his brother Method, and they did that to evangelize the Balkans people. Always about church, but in that time, the Pope in that time forbid that alphabet around the 10th century. Like once 100 years after that, he forbid that alphabet. I don't know why. I didn't search in detail, but that's what I saw on Google. So the disciple of Constantin and method Cyril, they developed the Cyrillic alphabet. And the one that use that, the countries that use that alphabet, and I didn't translate the names, so I'm gonna try to go like this. Okay, Russia, no problem. Bulgaria, Bulgarie, Serbia, Macedon. Okay, I'm gonna search the translation and I'll write them down the video. Macedon, Bielorussy, Ukraine, and sometimes Russia. So that's how it started. So that means if I think, if I remember, Constantin Cyril was a monk. And so that means maybe he was Latin, I don't know. And they invented that alphabet to be able to translate some sacred text with some people from Balkans people and the Slavic area. But why did they use letters? I don't have my answer, so I'm very disappointed. But that would be how it started. Always selon Google. So that was my little research before showing you everything that I'm doing to learn. I hope you liked that little Russian introduction. So I've been asked why I wanted to learn Russian. My answer is why not? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my life. When I was a kid, long time ago. Remember, at that time there was no internet. Like internet for me, it came like I was about maybe in my 30s. Yeah, around my 30s that it's starting. Not everybody had internet, so I didn't have it when it came out. Like, so when I was a kid, I always invented myself. Like I'm a lonely child, so with a lot of imagination. At that time, we didn't have video games. We had our imagination, so I was inventing languages. Like I was reading about those little stories about the spies, secret text and secret alphabets and symbols. Like I started to like symbol since I'm very young. Okay, I always like symbol, still today, but differently. So I was inventing myself an alphabet. At that time, like I didn't really hear about Russian language. The only thing I remember, it's like when I was a kid also with on TV, we had 4 channels on TV, and my TV was black and white, and I was the remote control, so I had to get up and turn the. But what I used to like, it's when there was shows, musical shows, and there was like that Red Army from USSR, all those men in uniform, like from the army, and they were singing, and I was liking it so much. I didn't hear anything, of course, but I liked it. Like that was my introduction to Russian language, Russian culture, if I can say. It's not a lot, but that's how I got introduced to. And eventually, like, okay, I learned my English, blah, blah, blah. And then Sometimes I try Spanish, but as I said, like my memory today is not like wow. I would have to write the old way. Remember, um, it's like in 2019, 2020, near the pandemic time. I don't know. I was dreaming like to buy a house, like but to move in another country. Like my first country that I dreamed of was Iceland because I love North. Like I'm not a person like you want to make me happy. Don't pay me a trip in South in Cancun, and it's nice places, but it's not me. So I want North, even North from Canada or North from Quebec, Nunavut and Nunavik. One day, eventually, maybe I'm gonna visit, but to move the country, like I was searching what to do, how you can be accepted for Iceland, and even Russia. I was thinking about Russia for Siberia. Did I say I love the cold? Maybe not the coldest city from Siberia, but I was checking, and at that time, when I searched, I was a bit disappointed because, like for Iceland, if you're from Europe, you can go and think about moving in there. But if you're on this side of the ocean, Canada, US, at that time when I don't know if it changed, but at that time, the only way that you could get your citizenship was to get married with someone over there. And I didn't see myself just getting married just to get my citizenship. Especially at my age, I cannot have kids anymore. Like I don't see how that would happen. For Russia, it was something similar also, and it looked very stressful, like to become a citizen from for there, and especially at my age. And I'm my kids at that time were with me, and I didn't see myself taking that chance to move. Of course, today, if I ever have the chance to move, I would, but I would need to bring something. I don't want to be a parasite. I would need to bring something since I'm not 20, I'm not 30 anymore. So I'm not in my full power. Like I'm almost at the age of the retirement over there. So I don't want to get there to get retired. Oops, sorry, the cat. I don't want to get there and get retired, but to be a parasite to the people. Like it's not my goal. I don't like it when people do it when they come here. I won't do it when I go there. Yeah, I want to be able to be fully, as much as possible, part of the what's going on. Like I don't want to be served like a queen. No, no. Everybody wants to be served like that, but you know what I mean. I don't want to abuse. I want to bring something. You want to go, you're going somewhere. You bring something to the people there. So for now, it's not really. It's still a dream, but hey, we'll see. Anything is possible, I think. So at that point, we'll see what the life deserve, what life brings me. So that's a little bit about my introduction of why I want to learn Russian. So if there's anyone that has any suggestion, like I said about music with lyrics, any kind of music, like maybe I could even do a reaction, a video of reaction of that music, or I can show you uh, me trying to read the lyrics while they're singing. Maybe I won't be able to sing. I don't have a nice voice when I sing. Anyway, maybe for fun I would do it just to make people laugh. So, but I don't want to insult those musicians also. Musicant. So that's about it. So that's it for now. And spasiba. Bye. Пока.